Sorry. Put that over in
Well, welcome everybody to the April 14th special meeting of Upper Thames River Conservation Authority. I'll call it to order at 9:30 a.m. As a reminder, Emily Chandler is serving as our meeting host. So if those online have any connection problems or issues with technology, please contact Emily through the chat feature. Today's meeting is being live streamed on the UTRCA's YouTube channel. Please refrain from whispers or side conversations while the meeting is running, as it could get picked up by the microphones. When the squares glow red, the microphones are muted. If you are a board member attending online, please have your camera on during the meeting, especially during voting and during closed session when appropriate. And territorial acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the Upper Thames River Conservation Authority is within the traditional territory of the Attawadoran, Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Lenape peoples, who have deep, long-standing, and intrinsic relationships to the land, water, plants, and animals of southwestern Ontario. We acknowledge the First Nations community within the Thames River watershed who are connected to and by the Thames River. These nations include Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, Oneida Nations of the Thames, Munsee Delaware Nation, and the Delaware Nation at Moraviantown. In the region, there are 11 First Nation communities and a growing and diverse Indigenous urban population. We acknowledge and respect local and regional First Nations as original, contemporary, and future caretakers of this watershed, and we are committed to working alongside Indigenous peoples from across the region and Turtle Island to strengthen relationships, honor treaties, and improve watershed health. Okay, so
I think we should do a roll call just to make sure everyone's here.
I think that's a great idea. I will turn that over to Michelle.
Jean Coles. Here. Jim Craigmile.
Here.
Peter Cuddy.
Here.
Tyler Frank.
Here.
Heeman. Anna Hopkins.
Here.
Sandy Levin.
Here.
Hugh McDermott.
Here.
Paul Mitchell.
Here.
March Niger.
Here.
Ryan Petrie.
Here.
Mark Schadenberg. Dean Trentowski.
Here.
George Way. And Scotty's there.
Here.
That was Tom Heeman, Mark Schadenberg, and George Way.
So I do see Southwest Oxford on the screen. I don't know if that's George or George. Can you confirm that you are here, or that's Southwest Oxford, or we'll if not, then if we can't confirm that's George, then we're gonna have to exclude that once we go into closed session.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, sir. Thank you. Okay. We have quorum.
We do.
Excellent. Right now, I think next is modifications to the agenda, and we do have one. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder that the board of directors amend the agenda to add a second closed session item to consider advice that is subject to lawyer-client privilege related to litigation. And certainly moved by Sandy, seconded by Scotty. Discussion. The only thing I'll say is that this is a last minute item that that staff were just made aware of, and so they do need to bring that forward to the boards. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried by the 2/3 majority that was needed. So thank you very much for that. We'll just go right down to the minutes. And I'll need a mover and a seconder that the Upper Thames River Conservation Authority Board of Directors approve the Board of Directors minutes dated March 25th, 2026. Mover and seconder for that.
Also move.
Dean and Hugh.
24th.
24th.
Okay, sorry, it's 24th. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried as well. Thank you. There are no business rising from the minutes. We're just gonna go right into camera. So I'll ask for a mover and a seconder that the board of directors adjourn to closed session in camera in accordance with section C 12 of the UTRCA administrative bylaw to consider advice that is subject to lawyer-client privilege related to litigation affecting UTRCA, as well as for two items on that. So Sandy and Jean, discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And we'll just wait for our live stream and everything to get ready.
While we're waiting for the live stream to be back now.
But the city's not gonna oppose our.
We're back live. We're live.
Okay, we're now back at a closed session. Rise report that board dealt with two items within, sorry, we not?
No, we are, we're just doing a playback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, we rise and report, the board did deal with two items in closed session to the agenda, and they did the directions to staff. With that, are there any notices of motion? Seeing none. I don't have any clear comments at this time, members' comments, except I will be away at the April 25th meeting. But very seasoned vice chair here can definitely take that down, so not really. Members' comments? No members' comments?
I'll just add that I know there's some questions about where we're at with the changes to the conservation authorities, areas of jurisdictions and the amalgamation process. We did participate in a meeting just this past week, board chairs and general managers. Again, much of the same information that was reiterated by the province was shared again. I guess some clarification is really honing in on the transition period when that starts. And the transition is more about the governance transition being in February. There's some talk about a date being established through regulation that may be later than that. And then it'll be the implementation of the transition plan that may happen months or years later. So again, just that reassurance that not everything has to be done by February, and that it's intended that how we merge and how different processes emerge will happen forward. Wanted to let the board know about that, and that we're continuing to meet as a group of the 4 CA's general managers, and we're anticipating a regional meeting with the agency soon in the near future. No details yet, but again, as I get more information, I'll share them with the board via email, and we'll have a report back at our next meeting.
Motion to adjourn. Sandy? Dean? Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. It may rain, it may not.